When Vichitravirya became major, the queen and Bhishma decided to get him married. And incidentally, the king of Kashi was organizing the groom selections contest Swayamvar for his three daughters. He had invited all the eligible kings and princes except the king of Hastinapur due to some old grudge. It was considered an insult to Hastinapur ruler. An angry Bhishma stormed into Kashi and seized the three princesses. He forcibly brought all of them to Hastinapur for King Vichitravirya. The power and the valor of Bhishma was so daunting that no king or army could throw a challenge to him. In Hastinapur, he ordered the preparations for the formal marriage ceremony to wed the princesses with King Vichitravirya. The eldest princess of Kashi, Amba, appealed to the queen Satyavati and Bhishma. My heart has already accepted the prince of Shalva kingdom as husband. I request you to arrange to send me to him. The queen kindly accepted her request and asked Bhishma to send Amba to the prince of Shalvaraj duly. According to her request, she was sent back safely to Shalvaraj in protection with the faithful maid servants. But Shalvaraj did not accept now to marry her. He told rudely, "Go back to him." He had not forgotten the shame he suffered by the defeat from Bhishma. Amba pleaded him not to reject her, yet he did not accept. With a great pain in her heavy heart, she came back to Bhishma and reported sorrowfully her fate. Bhishma took pity on her and accepted to marry her with Vichitravirya. But Vichitravirya disliked the marriage with her. He said, "I do not like to marry someone who has already given heart in love to another." Amba was now ashamed of his rejection. As there was no other way, she fell to the feet of Bhishma and requested him to marry her. But Bhishma never liked to break his vow to Dasharaj. He denied her request, though felt pitiable for her miserable situation. Amba became angry at all the three, Shalvaraj, Vichitravirya, and Bhishma, but to the most extent on Bhishma. She thought that Bhishma's participation in the battle was the main cause to her present situation. She thought to take revenge on Bhishma in anger. She left Hastinapur and approached many kings and princes with a request to teach lesson to Bhishma for his inexcusable fault. But Bhishma was well known for his bravery and heroism. Nobody came forward to support her. Amba became deeply distressed and broken-hearted. She thought to attempt herself to succeed in her revenge on Bhishma by hook or by crook. She sat in meditation for Lord Shiva for many years. Shiva was pleased with her immense meditation. He appeared before her and asked for her desire. She said, "My kind hearted lord, my ambition is only to kill Bhishma with my own hands to fulfill my revenge." Lord Shiva smiled and said, "Daughter, your desire is not according to the God's will, because Bhishma is Ajeya. No one can defeat him. Not only that, no one can even kill him, because he is blessed by his father to meet his death only when he likes. Yet men are mortal. One day or the other, they are bound to die. You can kill him, not in this birth, but in the next. Have your rebirth as daughter of King Drupad in the state of Panchal. Your ambition will be surely fulfilled." So saying, he disappeared. Even now, she was pleased by the words of Lord Shiva. Amba at once went to Panchal. The king Drupad was performing the sacrifice Putra Kameshti to have children. She took birth as a daughter of Drupad according to the gift of Shiva by the name Shikhandini. She was well trained in archery, horse riding, sword play, and other skills. Due to Lord Shiva's boon, she remembered her previous birth of Amba and was waiting for the chance to take revenge on Bhishma. Meanwhile, in Hastinapur, the other princesses, Ambika and Ambalika, were married to the king Vichitravirya with great pomp and show. The time passed by. 7 years became history. But Ambika and Ambalika could not bear any children. Then Vichitravirya fell ill and passed away without siring any offspring. As a result, there was no heir to the throne of Hastinapur. It created a great problem. A kingdom without any king or heir apparent is a bad omen. Queen Satyavati was in dilemma. No solution was in sight. She requested Bhishma sit on the throne, but he refused straight away as he was bound by his vow. For Bhishma, dishonoring his vow was ultimate shame which he could never accept. The kingdom of Hastinapur had a grave situation of being heirless.